Okay, hello, welcome back to the next lesson on Velvet Forex Trading Scheme for 2025. So this is the second lesson, and we've been able to identify these key levels and various points. Here we have FVGs, right? Okay. Now, what I want to do right now is that I want to clear the whole chart again. So this was where we started from the previous time, and we are able to identify the present price leg all the way from the higher time frame, and now we move down to the lower time frame. So, and what did we do? We said for you to identify what is going on in price, you just need to know the present price action, which is the present price leg. Are we in a bullish or are we in a bearish trend? So right now you can see that on a daily time frame or a 4-hour time frame, let's see daily, we have more like a bullish trend presently. But if you go to the monthly, you can clearly see we have a bearish trend, and this can cause a whole lot of confusion. So what we simply do is that we break down until we get to a time frame we can actually trade in. Now this might still be confusing to you, but just give yourself some time, give me some time, and we're going to find that interception where both of us can understand what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so I want to talk about the types of FVGs in this lesson. Types of FVG. We have two types of FVG basically. I don't know if you get now, and that's what I want you to focus on. We have other types of FVGs. Actually, you have the inversion FVG, and you have the sharp turn. But in this lesson, our basic focus is the bearish and bullish fair value gap. So after talking about the bearish and bullish fair value, which is our major focus for this lesson, we can talk about the sharp turn. Okay, so look at a bullish fair value gap and look at a bearish fair value gap. So for here in this monthly chart, this is a bearish fair value gap because it's pointing downwards. So see, from here we had a fair value gap, and immediately we had this fair value gap. Price expanded downwards and formed another fair value gap. Yeah, immediately. So let's break down to the weekly chart and see. So you see, it's more like the fair value gaps are being respected. The bearish fair value gap, you understand, because this is a bearish tone from the monthly chart. The fair value gaps are being respected. Immediately price came here, price dropped down, came here, dropped down. You see, so what's happening here? That price is respecting the bearish fair value gap. Now let's go to daily charts. We're going to come to a point where every one of us is going to find that understanding. So let's see something here as well. Watch this fair value gap. Though this is not my interest, I will tell you why it's not my interest in subs. Yes, we get to it. We get to talk about that why it's not my interest. Maybe in another lesson. But look at this. Price came all the way up to this fair value gap, came down. So it means price is actually respecting all the bearish fair value gap. So what is a bearish fair value gap? A bearish fair value gap is a fair value gap formed to support a downtrend. That is a bearish fair value gap. While a bullish fair value gap is a fair value gap formed to support a bullish trend. Now let's look at USD card. USD card. Okay. So on USD card, I want you to take a look at this. So this is the monthly chart because I want to focus on the present price leg, and I want you to see. Now on this monthly chart, you can focus from this very point to this point. You understand? This is the price leg. But I want to focus from here where you have a swing low to a swing high. And all I just want you to identify or see for yourself is that we have a bullish fair value gap. Now, what do I want to draw your attention to? I want to draw your attention to the fact that a fair value gap supports the tone of the present price leg. So if we are in a bullish tone, we want to see bullish fair value gaps. So bullish fair value gaps are the fair value gaps pushing price upwards, and bearish fair value gap are the fair value gaps pushing price downwards. You understand? And that is just what I wanted to focus from on this particular lesson. Now, we're going to talk about other types of fair value gaps, and those ones are going to help us in our entries and our exits. Now, we've not gotten to the point where we're talking about entries and exits. We are still building what's it called, still laying the foundation, establishing a whole lot of facts, and then we can run from there. So for now, I want you to see that this particular chart is forming bullish fair value gaps. Why on the foreign currencies we are forming what? Bearish fair value gaps. And I want you to take note of this. So write this down. For this lesson, we're going to be working with correlated pairs, and I'm going to give you some correlated pairs. Actually, I'm going to be saying it. And those of you who don't actually hear my kind of accent or my English, because I'm a black and I'm from West Africa, please don't be offended about that. So what I'm talking about is that I wouldn't be writing most of these things down. So I want you to pay attention and be able to write some things down yourself. So we're going to focus on Euro USD and GBP USD because they are correlated pairs. One. So and then we're also going to be focusing on NZD USD and AUD USD. That is NZD USD and AUD USD, New Zealand and Australia, because they are correlated. We're also going to be focusing on USD CAD and USD JPY or USD CHF. They move in tandem, which means they move, more like alongside. Now let's transpose to the weekly chart and I will show you something. Now, so look at this. On the weekly chart, you see what's happening here is that once price move and forms a fair value gap, price only stings to that fair value gap and boom, goes up. Sting to the fair value gap, boom, goes up. And that's what I wanted you to identify. So if we should mark out more fair value gaps, so let's refine them. On the weekly chart, I have this fair value gap. I'm not going to clean off the monthly fair value gaps anyway. So look at the weekly fair value gap. So I'm identifying them and I'm showing you that, and I will show you how you can find precision with this variety of value gaps. So what was happening. So which means what I'm trying to say is that in a situation where we have bullish value gaps, even where when we transpose to the lower time frame, we are going to still see consistency. Now this is a weekly chart and we are seeing more bullish fair value gaps, right? Okay, so let's still go up here. There's a fair value gap here. Yeah. So you see what's happening here is that when price formed this fair value gap, price was going up. Immediately price tinged into this one. What happened? We saw another upward movement going quickly. Now price has tinged back into this. What are we expecting? Another upward movement. You understand? Okay. So we've talked about the types of fair value gap, which I say that our major focus for now is the bullish fair value gap and the bearish fair value gap. And even if we transpose to the daily chart, I still want you to look at this. So I want to show you instances of where we had okay, let me just focus on the present price leg at the moment. You're going to see consistency in this, yeah, something I can guarantee. And we're having some kind of consolidation, yeah, if you can see consolidation, but you can see trade in this kind of situation, and I'll tell you how. So just stay with me. So look at this. We had this value gap, right? So I want to use maybe blue. Watch, immediately price tinged into it. Ting, what are we seeing? An upward movement, although we are in consolidation, right? Yeah, so we can still extend this to the right. And I will tell you how many times I use an FVG. But what I wanted you to focus is on the fact that whenever we have a bullish fair value gap, what are we expecting? For price to form an expansion, sting back into that fair value gap, go up, sting back, go up, sting, then retraces, so go up. So when I'm talking about sting, I'm talking about price retracing back to that fair value gap and then moving up from that, which means that fair value gap is giving it enough force to continue in its trend. So let's see Euro USD again, and okay, I didn't mark. Okay, let's say GBP USD. Yeah, so look at the monthly chart on GBP. I believe you can see this value gap here, and other ones are not yet clear. So there's a value gap here, right? But let's go to the weekly. Now on the weekly, there's a value gap here. Now a situation whereby price did not stink, price did not like retrace back into value gap but continues. That's when you have a breakaway gap, which means oftentimes they're not going to be filled, they're going to be left empty. Yeah, they're caused by usually when you have this kind of sporadic expansion and price is just going down, which means price is extremely bearish. So look at this. Okay, this one is from the weekly chart. I want to change the color. Okay, so for the weekly, now watch from these very points. We had a fair value gap here, right? After we formed it, what happened? Price came back here, and then from here it traded off down. So let's go to the daily and see. Okay, so we're going to see same thing happening over and over again. Yeah, you're going to see it, and I will tell you how we can align all this time frame and not get confused. So okay, so you see price came back to that fair value gap, going down. Do we have another fair value gap anywhere? Yeah, watch this. Price came back to that place. What happened? It's going down. Do we have another fair value gap? Yeah, we do. We actually do. Price came back to it. What's happening? Seems like we are going down, right? Yeah, it's gonna always happen, yeah, until we have a shift in market structure and we get to all that. So right now we've talked about the types of fair value gap, right? Okay, so for us to get to some level where we have more precision, in the next lesson, we're talking about the time frame alignment. How can we align some time frame, and what time frame are we expecting this kind of setup to form? So don't miss out on the next one. Thank you.